Yo, what's going on gamers? It's Ryan 6 days a week, and in this new wipe, we have received the Ice Abyss, the last layer in the Ice Mountain adventure. Well, with this new map comes a whole fleet of new monsters, both in the Elite and Nightmare variant, and a couple new skeletons, also coming in the Elite and Nightmare variants. In this video, I'm going to show you how to dodge and fight all of these solo, without any blocking required. Now, let's first get started with the Skeleton Harberdier. This skeleton has a forward stab move around head height, and a side sweeping low swing. To dodge the stab, just simply step to the left or right. This is by far the most reliable method to dodge this stab, but if you do get caught in a narrow place, or let's say you're slowed down by some sort of debuff, you could also move backwards, crouch, and look straight up to bend your body backwards. This method isn't as reliable and should only be used in emergency situations. For the side swing, simply just jump and crouch in the air. Moving backwards and to the left while doing this does help as well if you have the space for it. Next we have the Frost Skeleton Axeman, which is wielding a felling axe and will begin charging at you upon aggro. If the skeleton does hit you or a blocking surface, it'll continue its combo chain 2 more times. So, the best method is the Kiss and Kite. Simply just bait out an attack, quickly move backwards, jump and side strafe if you can, then return an attack immediately after. If you don't have enough space to do this, you can also crouch to either side of the skeleton. But it does seem like there is a move speed requirement to make this happen, so plate users may get hit while trying to attempt this. So, I really just suggest moving around, kiting out the attacks if you have the space. Next, we have the Frost Skeleton Guardsman. Now, the Nightmare variants do have the electrified shields that you'd find similar to the ones in the crypts, so attacking it will damage you and trigger a return attack from the skeleton. To dodge this skeleton, simply just kite back and treat it like any other basic mob. It does, however, have an overhand swing that will immediately combo into any of its other attacks, so just be aware of that. And take note of the long windup attack, which is actually easier to sidestep than to backstep and dodge. And finally, the Frost Skeleton Maceman. Now, these ones gave me quite some trouble trying to dodge close. I do not recommend it. Some of the attacks can be sidestepped or jumped, but it seems very unreliable. For these skeletons, clear some space before you pull it. Then, simply bait out an attack and kite by jumping backwards. You really need to make sure you have space to kill these ones, because chances are you're going to hit their shields every now and then. So, clear some space, know your route, and kite to kill. As long as you don't accidentally back yourself into a corner, you should be able to take these things down. Now, let's get moving on to the non-skeleton monsters, starting with the Frost Imp. The Frost Imp throws a short-range ice ball, which, if it hits you, will do some minor damage, chill you, and briefly disarm you. These Frost Imps can be taken care of by either hugging a pillar and causing the projectiles to collide into it, or simply by side strafing and attacking when it's on cooldown. The Ice Imp also has a short-range teleport, but it's not much to worry about, just keep a track of where it ends up and you won't get hit. A small note here as well, the projectiles do persist in the world for a period of time, so if you aren't paying attention and step on them, they will burst and deal some damage to you. Next we have the Ice Giant Spider, which lurks around in the ceiling, so be sure not to overpull if you are clearing a room. The traditional kiting method works very well on the Ice Giant Spider, just be wary of the webs and don't walk into them, as they give you a heavy slow and can lead to some comboing attacks. These webs are placed down when the spider jumps back, then lunges forward in that attack. Next, we have the Ice Spider, which, again, can be handled with basic kiting. The only thing you really need to worry about with these ice spiders is they have a small chance of exploding when killed. But, of course, you can dodge this just by moving out of the way. Next, we have the Ice Harpy, which I think is more commonly found in the Ice Caverns layer. To dodge these mobs, sidestep the forward lunge attack. These forward lunge attacks will come in a series of 3. If you do get hit, it's a pretty severe knockback, so just make sure not to fight them by any kind of cliffs, or don't get pushed into a wall. Now, after these 3 lunge attacks, the Harpy will let out a brief laugh, then use its gust attack, which sends out a cone of damaging gusting winds that also knock back. To dodge this gust, simply stand still, crouch, and look straight down. Now, the standstill part is important. If you get too close, you get hit. If you're too far away, you also get hit. And if you look up instead of down, there's a chance that your hands will get hit by it. So stay calm, wait for the laugh, crouch, look down, and you should be able to dodge this, if you're on level surface. Next, we have the Frozen Ghosts, which, very much like the Frost Imp from earlier, can be dodged by using a pillar to block the projectiles, or by side strafing the projectiles and attacking on cooldown. Do be aware of the second attack from the Frozen Ghost, where it spawns a freezing pool at your feet. So, if you get caught in this slow, it increases your chance of getting hit by the projectiles. Now, when the ghost is damaged, it will scurry away and let out a stream of freezing pools. This is nothing to worry about really, just don't step into it and you should be fine. Up next, we have the Frost Demon, which lets out a spray of projectiles that freeze on hit. Again, you can find a pillar to block these and attack on cooldown, or if you space yourself correctly, you can crouch and look down to dodge this volley of projectiles. Having the Frost Demon at a little bit higher elevation compared to you does help immensely. Now, the Frost Demon has a second move, which rains ice down from above, but this one can simply be dodged as long as you're moving. I will say, this is quite an easy mob to take down as long as you have nothing else to fight in the meantime. So, just clear the room and pull selectively. Next, we have the Frost Sentinel, which will spawn a Frost Nova at your feet when you're in range that explodes after a second or two. If you do get close to it, after a period of time, it will unleash a cold blast, which knocks you back and deals some damage. So, to fight these, just keep moving. Once you do get close and start triggering the cold blast, just bait them out, step back, and then attack when it is on cooldown. If you have any kind of ranged option, these are the easiest mobs to take care of since they are stationary. Just stay out of its attack range and damage it down. And finally, we have the Ice Hound. Now, the Ice Hound, I haven't really found a great way to dodge them. Kiting does work as long as you have the move speed for it, but you need a ton of space since they lunge and travel quite quick. So this mob, try to pull last if you can, especially if you're solo. If you do manage to pull two of these at once, they will damage down each other, which can be nice, but just keep moving and you'll be fine. Alright gamers, that's all I have for this video. I am going to be revisiting the Ice Caverns mobs in the next video, since we got a couple updates to the mobs there, as well as we got a new Ice Yeti mob, which can actually be completely dodged in any kit. If you have any questions on what was covered in this video, or just want to say hello, come find me on Twitch, or give me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.